One of the things that people talk about or don't actually talk about in real estate is the fact of the larger property actually makes you more money than the smaller property. And people don't quite understand this because the goal, they get too fixated on, I just want to get into home ownership. And once you get into home ownership, you get distracted by, hey, I got to get a door replaced. In fact, I had to get my doorknob replaced earlier. Pest control, landscaping, all the little odds and ends that come along with home ownership. And so it distracts you from the ability that you're like, hey, how much wealth, how does this help accelerate my wealth? Well, I want to show you an example or talk to you about an example of how it really does it, and especially how it does it in different communities. So, say you bought a home for $100,000 and your friend buys a home for $400,000. You both have growth rates of the same, 7, 10%, whatever, over the next 7 years. And your amounts double based off that interest rate over the next 7 years. So at the end of 7 years, your $100,000 turns into $200,000. Your friend's $400,000 turns into $800,000. So while you've made an extra $100,000, your friend takes on the same likely responsibility, has made $400,000. That's the difference in home ownership. And I say this because my wife and I, that was a trend that I saw, but I noticed that we kind of did things that I saw even without even having a plan. We stayed in a townhome. That townhome doubled over the time we stayed in it, a little bit more than doubled over the time we stayed in it. We kept it as a rental. It's doing well. And we bought a new home. And in 1 year, we've grown just simply almost 20% of equity. That's an incredible thing. Because the thing that I'm looking at is, well, what will this home likely be worth when you get down 5 years? Will it be the same or as much? And it's likely going to be double what we would have made had we stayed in that townhome. Not to say this is the ultimate wealth building tool. I'm just trying to explain, how does it actually work when you live there? And these are the differences that I noticed, that the people who they start off with a $150,000 home, the starter home, whatever starting point it is, what they did was they stayed there for a portion of time. They used that to help them get a larger home that's going to grow more in equity that they could afford, and when they can comfortably afford it, even if you're not renting or anything like that. But what systematically I'm seeing, and one thing that isn't always talked about in all these millionaire books and studies, is people were upgrading their home. And the upgraded home grows and accelerates in value a lot quicker than the lower price home. The low price home just simply gets you in the game. Hi, my name is Jonathan. I want to help you understand these wealth tools, build wealth so that you can live a better life. Follow me for more.